Hey everybody, Deb McDonough here, talking to you from my truck. Just got off work and came home, just getting some stuff done for getting ready to leave for a little family getaway this weekend before I go on call with my job. And then I have some surgery scheduled after that, so I won't be going anywhere for quite a while. If you watched some previous videos, I introduced you to myself and a little bit of my family life and stuff like that. And I've had some questions from people asking me my why statement, or in other words, why am I doing this? Why am I online? Why am I trying to make money from home? Why am I doing this? Well, this is going to be the video that I explain that, and it's a very emotional thing for me because it's very close. It's one of my greatest mistakes that I made in my life, and I don't think I'll ever quite forgive myself. I might forgive, but I'll never forget it that way. First of all, I'm going to apologize for the picture if it's a little blurry and there's light behind me and it kind of gets glare, but this is the best I can do. Got my laptop out here. This is kind of my office for right now until I get some other things situated, so bear with me. If nothing else, close your eyes and just listen to me. I think you get the same effect. So, like I said, I'm a father of two kids. My son, Logan, who's 11, and my daughter, Macy, is 6. Well, this story basically revolves around my daughter, my youngest. Let me get a little background on this, my childhood, so it kind of sets the stage a little bit. Me and my father has to do with him. Our relationship's not your typical father-son relationship. He worked swing shifts. He worked for a water company. Even when my parents were together, my parents got divorced when I was 10 years old, and probably one of the best things that happened to that, my dad realized he needed to become more of a dad then, but this is before that. This is when they were still married. One of my earliest memories of my father is when I was about 5 or 6 years old. Where we lived at, we had a long driveway, and we had to go down the end of the driveway and wait for the bus for school. My mom always took me down there, and one day, I don't know, for some reason she wasn't going to take me. She wanted to have my dad take me. I would have nothing with that. I mean, I literally crawled under a little ottoman that we had, barricaded myself as much as I could, screaming, crying, yelling, telling him I didn't want this man to take me down there because, to be honest with you, I didn't know him. I might have known him as my father, but I didn't know the man. I didn't know who exactly what he was. He was called my father. I called him dad maybe, but as far as dad in the other sense of the word, the literal sense, he was not at that time. Eventually, my mom got me out, kicking and screaming, got me in his truck. He took me down. I didn't look at him. I didn't talk to him to the bus. As soon as the bus pulled up and stopped, I was out of the truck in a blink of an eye before he even got out, and I was on the bus. And everybody was wanting to know what. Come to find out later on in life, my mom told my dad, "You do not know your son. He does not know you. You need to get to know your son." So from then on, my dad and me were practically inseparable. We did everything together. I followed him around. I mimicked him. But there was an underlying little thing that I didn't know until later on, until I actually got in my adult years later on. For some reason, I believed to this day that I wasn't good enough for some reason for him to get to know me. Somehow, I don't know what reasons was, he could blame the swing shifts, him sleeping during the day, or him out in the garage, and my mom was very overprotective, didn't let me out there, whatever. He did not make time for me, and I believe that somehow I was not good enough for him to make time for. As a little kid, as my father and his son doesn't, my daughter's come up the truck, waving her way up, talking. And hang on a second, she's got a little pause in the thing, might get to meet her. Sorry, I'm making a video. Okay. she was asking for help, and we kind of have a rule, film for dinner and stuff like that. So anyway, back to my story. So, well, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I spent my whole childhood trying to make up for something that I thought I did wrong. And my dad's a very proud man. He would never admit it. He still to this day has never admitted to me, to my face, that he was wrong and how he treated me. But he's since remarried a number of years, and my stepmom told me he knows he did wrong. But somehow it would be very well appreciated to me if he would have come up to me and say, "Son, I'm sorry for what I did all the years back again. It wasn't your fault. It was mine. So, sorry." So, gotta take a drink. So that was my little thing to turn into what it's. Fast forward 20-some years, I've had my son. I promised myself when I became a father I was going to do better than my dad. I was going to be there when they woke up, and I would be there for when they went to bed. And I was going to be there all the important parts, you know. I was going to be the father that I wanted to be. Well, life has a way of changing issues and things coming about. Well, after my daughter was born, she was about, we just moved to this new house. Well, it's not new, but the house we're living at now. And times were getting tough. Like I said, my wife quit her job when she had her because we were going to pay more in child care than she made. So it was money sense for her to quit her job. So times were getting tough. I was starting to look like I was going to get behind on this stuff. So I decided, with talking with my wife, I had a friend who was the fire chief of the old fire department I was on, in his real job was a loss prevention manager for a local retail store. I had called him to see if he had any opening positions for part-time work. He did. So I wound up getting a job with him. Well, to make a long story short, at my full-time job, they just changed their summer hours, which is during the summer, I go in at 6 and I get off at 2. Well, then I would go to my part-time job around 4 o'clock, and usually there till close or very close to it. So, but most generally they're closed during the week. So basically, I would be working a lot. But what was hard for me was I literally went days without seeing my family. I mean, I got up, went to work well before they all got up. This is summer now, so my son was in school, but he was off during the summer. Of course, my daughter was too young to go to school, but they were still asleep when I left for my full-time job. Then I never came home in between because I didn't have enough time. And, of course, I couldn't afford extra gas, so I stayed in town. And then I did my part-time job. And after I got off there, they're well in bed anyway. So I went ahead and I joined a gym that stayed open real late so I could still work out as part of what I want to do. So I didn't get home till like midnight. So I was doing this sometimes 2 and 3 days in a row. So literally I would go that whole entire time without seeing or even talking to my kids, which hurt. But I made a promise to myself I had to get situated to get myself out of financial needs so I could be there. And I figured if I do it now when they're younger, when I could get myself where I could quit that job, and when they got older and got into school and did a lot more outdoor projects or sports or stuff in school, I could be there then. So I was sacrificing now for then. Well, that was okay. I mean, it was rough, and I was tired all the time. But one day or one weekend, I actually got a weekend scheduled off, which was very rare. Usually I work both days, part of both days, or at least one of the two of the weekend days. That's just how part-time jobs went. And so I was off. I was getting ready to go do an errand. I wasn't going to be gone more than 45 minutes to an hour. And my daughter was there walking through. She's about 1.5. I mean, she's starting to talk. You can understand her kind of stuff. So closer to 2 probably by now. And I stopped. She stopped, and she looked at me, and I told her, I said, "Bye, baby. I'll be right back." Without hesitation and without batting an eye, she looked straight at me in the eye and says, "Okay, Daddy, I'll see you tomorrow." That was just like a knife in the heart for me because uh, she was already used to me being gone for days on end, and she didn't see me. That was very tough. I mean, she could have you could have knocked me over with a feather. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I was speechless. So I dealt with that. But it was either a couple of days or maybe a week or whatever. I don't remember. But I was talking with my wife, and that was when the killer blow came. My wife told me that when talking to my daughter, of course, kids at that age have no filters. They express exactly what they mean, and that's that. They don't know anything. They just tell you how it is, kind of thing. Well, anyway, my daughter told her mother that she hated me. My daughter, my 2-year-old daughter, hated me because I wasn't around. Excuse me. Could you imagine that? Have your own child hate you because for the simple fact that you were not there for her. That was your only job when they're that age, to be there. And I, it still hurts to this day, and that was 5 years ago. So, excuse me again. This is a very tough subject for me because all of a sudden the roles are reversed now. She is me back when I was that age, and I'm my father. And it was exactly what I promised myself I wouldn't do. That's how I felt and still feel. And it's like history repeating itself. Well, I was not going to let that happen. So I made a decision right then and there. I was going to give up my part-time job. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I did. And through the course of life and the grace of God, that's when the emergency man opportunity came up with my full-time job, and I jumped at it. I was not going to be absent in my kid's life anymore. So that's what I did. And I got to where I could quit my job, and I'm home. But a couple years ago, economy took another bad turn. Things started getting hurting again, and I keep remembering that. That's in my back of my mind all the time. So this is why I do this. This is my why. For my kids. So I'll be there for every stinking sickness, every ball game, every hurt knee, every recital, or whatever they're going to do. I want to be there. Unless I can, because I have to do this, because this is the things I got to do. So, excuse me, I got to take another drink again. I hope this comes out pretty good, because I don't know if I can do this again without holding back and bawling like a damn baby, and I'm 37 years old, but so, that's my why. Little side note, one of the businesses I'm in a few, but my major business has live events about every 3 months to help motivate people and show successful stories and lift people up. I mean, it's a great atmosphere. I've been to one. They've had a couple of since, but I haven't been able to go because of money issues or time issues, because I still have a full-time job, and I had to save all my vacation time for surgery that's coming up, which I'll be talking about probably closer to it, because that's another thing I'm pretty scared about, and I just share it with you. So anyway, I went to one. It was in January. It was in Austin, Texas, and this was a big thing for me, a big breakthrough. Alongside with my kids and my daughter's thing, my why, I found out another deep issue that was holding me back to a lot of things. They did this. One of the co-founders was an ex-drug addict, had a kid very young in life, didn't raise it for a whole number of years because he was running the streets, homeless and all that. Well, he got his act together, started making money, and he got his child back. And one of the things he said there, he's like, he wanted to know that all this crap he went through with the drugs and the drinking and the lack of being around for his kid was worth it, and his success on the internet and making very good money proved that it was worth it. When he was going through that, I started thinking about back my little story with my daughter, and I'm in the back of the room because I always go to the back of the room, and all those emotions came up, and I'll be the first one to raise my hand and admit I started bawling like a baby. Nobody could hear me because I was trying to muffle myself, and everybody screaming and cheering and all that, but yeah, I was bawling because they bring back all the memories again. And now, one last thing I'll tell you about this, one of the last exercises they did, they started asking people what they want. And people started throwing out money values and stuff like that. And then they said, no, what do you really want? And they kept on going deeper and deeper. And I knew where they were going. They wanted to know what your core desire was. Not necessarily money, but what is it? And I knew from a get-go what it is. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. It's been a question I've been answering myself, that all this stuff between me and my father and me and my daughter and stuff, I want to feel wanted. I mean, I want to do for people to show the world that I'm worth something. And I have something good to offer. And that's why I'm in this. It's very hard for me because I'm a very shy person, been for years, and that's what I want to do. I want to be there for people. I want to show them that they can do what they really want. What do they really want? Money is just a tool to me. Everybody covets money, but I mean money, yeah, they say don't buy you happiness, but it sure helps, you know what I'm saying? It's just a tool. I want to know from you who are watching this and decide to join with me or decide you can trust me to know that what I say is what I'm going to do. And why do you want? What is your long desire? Because it can't be money. Because money's a good for nothing. It's only a tool to get you to what you really want. And that's what I want. I want to be there for my kids. I want to show the world and show the Creator that He didn't mess up with me. That I'm here for a purpose. And my purpose is to help. You can see that from a lot of stuff I do. Being a volunteer fireman, I will put myself on the line, my life on the line, for complete strangers because they need help. Because that's what I want to do. And it helps with this. And I'll be honest, I'm scared. I mean, I don't want to mess up. I know I'm learning and stuff like that, but I just want to be able to look somebody in the eye that I helped or over the Skype or whatever, and they not even have to tell them, but they know that I'm there to help as much as I can and for as long as I can. Because I take an active interest in people. I can remember stuff about people. I mean, I'm bad with names. I can't remember people's names very well unless I use it. And you got to have face recognition. I remember other stuff, but I can remember details. Kids, things with their kids. I might remember their names, but that's a shot in the dark too. But what happens to them? Significant events in their lives that they've shared with me, and that's a very unique talent that I have that helps me connect with people because that makes them know that if they're willing to share something like that with me, like I'm sharing something very deep, very painful with you guys, then I'll remember that. Or if not, I'm going to jot that down. So when future conversations, I can say, hey, how did this go? How did such and such go? And that triggers, like, this guy really cares. And I do. So it's coming up on 20 minutes. I don't know. I think YouTube cuts me off at 20 minutes. So very quick, I want to thank you for listening. Hopefully this goes through. I'll look at it. Hopefully I don't have to do it again because I don't really want to go through this again. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't, please do so. Please look at what I'm doing and my opportunities and see if maybe we can do something together. So I'll keep doing these videos for as long as I can and as long as people will watch them. So thanks. See you later.